Welcome back to the dojo. I'm glad you can make it. Thanks for tuning in. Do me a favor since you made it here. Go ahead and leave me a like because I know you're going to like this one. Share the video because you know there's plenty of other people who probably need to listen to this message too. Don't be stingy. Don't be selfish. And last but not least, subscribe because you came back too many times not to push that button. Now down to business. The topic of discussion for today is you've been abused and you don't even know it. You've been abused and you don't even know it. As soon as you come out the womb, right, the doctor smack you on your butt. Off the rip, you come into a world of abuse. Off the rip. Now, don't get it twisted. There's a difference between abuse and discipline. Yes. There's a difference between abuse and discipline. Now, if you do something wrong, you should be corrected. You can be corrected with words, and you can also be corrected with punishment or even violence in some situations. But let's talk about the overarching subject of abuse. Now, before we go into it, let's look at the word ab, the root word ab. The prefix, right? More often than not, when you see ab, it usually means something that's not right. Something that's abnormal. That's even a word. Abnormal. Abstract. Abomination. Things that aren't right. Things that aren't normal. Right? And we know what use is. To use something. I know I don't really like using the definition to define something, but we all know what using is. Manipulating something to your accord, as you see fit. Wielding a weapon. Using a controller to play a video game. You use a wheel to drive a car. You know what I mean? You use a lighter to light a cigarette. You use a shovel to dig into the ground. We know what use is. Now when you add the prefix of ab, you're using something incorrectly or you're using something wrong. That's abuse. To use something abnormally, to use something incorrectly, to use something wrong, and you know it's wrong. That's abuse. So let's go over some of the different types of abuse that this world subjects you to. Right? You got mental abuse. You got physical abuse. Now, when we talk about mental, we're talking about psychological and things of that nature. Mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and even financial abuse. Yeah. There's probably other different subsets of it, but I think those are the main ones that we are most familiar with. Right? Emotional abuse, we know what that is. That can be neglect. That can be someone being disappointed in you, someone guilt tripping you, gaslighting you to make you second guess your own reality, things of that nature. Mental abuse, that's more or less being brainwashed or being led astray, being fed misinformation, being told things that are not true. Believing things that are not true. There are many things in this world that people are led to believe is true. And the more you live life, the more that you see that these things are not true. Such as the way celebrities live. They make it seem as though The lives they're living are so amazing. But they suffer from all different types of abuse. They don't get that, they really don't get privacy. They lose their right to privacy. You're constantly exposed and scrutinized by the public. Who would want that type of abuse? To be looked at as mainly as an object. Your humanity is second nature. People forget that celebrities are people too. But not only that, right? The mental abuse that a celebrity will subject you to is abnormal. Celebrities, a lot of them, make you believe that they're these good people. They're these outstanding citizens, right? They even become idols and heroes. You are mentally abused into believing that these people are better than any of us. When you watch TV, you get your news, you get your sports, all these different things. You know what I mean? Television programs you to think and act a certain way. So do movies and music and all these other things. This is the abuse that I'm talking about. The mental manipulation. Making you believe that you should want to be just like them. You should want to engage in debauchery. You should want to influence people to go the wrong way. You should want to influence people to be vain and care about nothing but money and beauty. Superficial things. That's abuse. To make you believe that that's something you should strive for. Now, if you can get it out the mud, you can achieve a level of success your own, and you can live a comfortable, happy life and have all your needs and wants and desires met, then all power to you. More power to you. That's what you should strive for. Building your life on your own terms. You don't have to do it their way, right? We're going into another part of abuse. Let's talk about emotional abuse. Emotional abuse comes from people that are close to us. It could be our families, a significant other, or even close friends, right? If you've ever been in the living room or dining room, wherever, and your mother or father or somebody's on the phone and you're calling out for them to get their attention, hey, mommy, dad, and they constantly annoy you and you just keep talking on the phone, that's neglect. That's abuse. It may not seem like severe abuse, but it is abuse. It is abuse. And if you've been neglected for an extended period of time, they call that child neglect. Child Protective Services will come see about you in your household. Why? Because it's abuse. There's even abuse, which is a very touchy subject. Abuse when it comes to the misuse of organs that are used for procreation. You know, you gotta be careful on YouTube. You know, you don't want to say anything too graphic, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But it's not just so much as taking advantage of somebody who can't defend themselves. It even could be as bad as a spouse withholding to make you do what they want you to do. That's also abuse. That's also abuse. It may not seem like it, but yes, that is also abuse. When your spouse withholds from you to make you behave or act or do things, that's abuse. You're being abused sex, you will leave. That's what's going on. All too often, we don't even realize we're being abused. We don't even realize the abuse that we're being subject to every single day. We're being abused. We're being taken advantage of. All of us. All of us. Right? Emotional abuse is the kind of abuse that leaves you scarred for years on end. Trying to heal from the wounds, or just ignoring them all completely, and they just fester and get bigger because they left unattended. You gotta heal your wounds. Emotional, physical, whatever. Right? I want you to understand that this world is constantly abusing you. That's why everybody's so crazy nowadays. They can't quite figure out what's wrong. I'm telling you, you're being abused, even financially. Even all the money that you make, you don't even get to see all of it. It's taxed. Your money is taxed before you even get to touch it. Before you even get to spend it how you so choose. It's taxed. It's taken from you. Right? All the work and energy, blood, sweat, and tears you put into that label or that project or whatever it was, that money that is paid to you is taxed. If you got to go to court to fight a charge or a case or whatever, no matter what side you're on, you gotta pay lawyer fees. When it comes to legal issues, you have to go to court. You have to. And you gotta pay for some of those services, depending on where you at. You know what I mean? Even if you get sick and gotta go to the hospital, you gotta pay for that. You are being abused financially too. Every possible way you can be abused, you have been. And if you still here and you still standing, you gotta be strong. Because you've been abused since the day you set foot onto this planet. When you come out the womb, they spank your butt. I don't want you to get startled. I don't want you to get belligerent or crazy or nothing like that. I just want you to recognize none of this stuff is normal. And it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to be upset, and it's okay, man, something ain't right. Yeah. Everything ain't right. Everything ain't right. You know what I mean? So in conclusion, I want you to know that you've been abused. You've been neglected. You've been isolated. You've been ostracized. You've been picked on. You've been looked down on. You've been manipulated. You've been lied to. You've been poisoned in more ways than one. You've been forced to do things and take things because you thought it was for the better good. All I know is, whoever you are, this video made it to you for a reason. You feel like something ain't right in the world? You are correct. Everything's wrong. Everything's wrong. And you're right to feel that way. So, with that being said, hope you're waking up every day with a smile. Waking up every day with a plan and a purpose. If not waking up with a smile, plan, and a purpose, hey, at least you're waking up. Professor Hawk signing out. Hawk Sensei. Bids you adieu. Let's expand. Let's grow. Let's go. Till next time, y'all. Take care.